The support of the creative justified by the words underneath it and the avatar of the consumer that we were really trying to sell to. That's all it is. Because you're gonna have the CTR ratio, you're gonna have a thumb stop ratio, and the click to purchase ratio is really where we make our money because that shit's still relevant. And here's why. Right above it, 28%, then I correlate it right next to it, which is with the CTR 3-second video view. So not only am I knowing it's stopping, I'm also knowing that it's clicking through and it's driving rev, look at the purchases. We developed a tool, not really a tool, more like a framework called the AAALO effect, because we needed to understand what was happening at the avatar level, which then everything else was downhill. Avatar, all to the angle, ad, landing, and offer. It's the same stuff we always understand, but there's a unique way of positioning it and explaining it. We're focusing just on the avatar. Primarily, it's like who you're selling to. Who are the pain points that you're trying to sell that to? What is the platform that you're on that's highlighting the pain points of what you're trying to sell and who you're trying to sell to? What is the placement within the platform highlighting the pain points of the person in which you're trying to sell to? What does the lander communicate from the placement that you just drove them from the platform that you just tried to sell them on? What does the communication overall from the lander that just drove them from the placement that understands what platform they just came from, which highlights the pain points of the person that you're selling from? So if I were to put this into practice, what does this actually look like? Very simple way of putting it into practice. 3 ways and 3 structures. Left, middle, right column. The segment, that's my bricks. That's the things I need to understand. It's very straightforward. Bold, your benefit, a lot of calls to action, pain point, objection, overview. Then right in the middle, where the creative team, where the copywriters are texting, what's my text, right? What did the text need to be conveyed, and how is it supported with the visuals? When it all comes together, it looks like a beautiful piece of creative like this.
Best shoes I've ever owned. Hands-free shoes are the next big thing. No more hands, tying, pulling, heel crushing, and once they're on, they stay on. Don't take my word for it. They have over 13,000 5-star reviews. Free shipping, free returns, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. A style or color for every personality. Time to step up your shoe game and step into Kizik's.
The support of the creative justified by the words underneath it and the avatar of the consumer that we were really trying to sell to. That's all it is. It's the same stuff that we understand, but it's when it's supported visually, when it's supported creative, and when you're trying to do it consistently, it can reproduce and be reiterated like this. The next thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is the same columns, same build, same structure, but understanding who owns what, which we'll get into, especially if you're leading a team, owning a team, or running a team. That's the most important part that I think you guys will fully understand. So if you do it again, and I need to convince and communicate to another one, tell me how many avatars we're about to rock.
These are my Kizik shoes, and you can just step into them and they pop on.
Today I just got some of the coolest shoes I think I've ever worn. They're hands-free, so you can just jump right into them.
You literally just step on the heel. Dude, like what? Are you seeing this right now?
It's so easy.
They're the comfiest, squishiest shoes.
I can't wait to put them on.
Slip on with absolute skis. Like, look at that.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, what?
It's an offer. It's a shoe that you don't have to put your, kind of slip right into it, right? The amount of times they show this, the amount of people who are talking, the voiceover, the females, the males, those are the buying consumers. That's the avatar we're actually trying to sell to. The final one is more of like the influencer vibe. So if it was more of like the female-focused structure, this would support the next following one. So it's a little bit quiet, so everybody really needs to pay attention to this.
Stop everything you're doing because I must show you my latest obsession. This bad boy by Muslim Comfort has completely eliminated my night sweats. And don't even get me started on the peacefulness of my sleep because I no longer have to listen to my partner complaining about me being a blanket hog, thanks to this guy being perfectly oversized. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to buy this in every color.
So think about this. The avatar we're selling to watches a lot of TikToks, watches a lot of influencers, is easily influenced by stuff and content like this. So we have to highlight that in our ads itself. Extremely profitable ads. You're gonna go to Amazon, pull 531 reviews. You're then gonna go to a text-only platform and you're gonna comment creep. What happens when you go to the text-only platform, it's gonna start to look like this. Handshake sucks, you're old as fuck, unable to bend over, and all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some smoke before I have to go make some fire. Because I don't want to invest all my time and effort into actual investing into content. I don't want to create that, it's expensive. So if you want to do it quick and dirty, this is the way you're going to go about it. And the reason why you go 5, 3, 1, for all of us in the Amazon space, a lot of stuff is paid for. Those 5-star reviews might not be real. The 1-star reviews might just be a Karen. It's really hard to please. So too hard to please, that's why you live in the 3 reviews. The 3 reviews are the people that are a little bit honest. They don't really like to communicate as much, but they're going to upload the pictures. That's where I like to play. Also, if I was Kizik, if Kizik was in the room and I was like, sir, Mr. Kizik, what I would tell you is we need to make some creative for pregnant women because all of them are commenting because they don't like to bend over. Why are we not creating ads from comments? That's where a lot of that juice comes from. If we moved into it, we're focused on the angle and the ad itself. This is the next structure in the progression, okay? Stick with me. We know we can talk about on-platform metrics. I'm not going to talk too much about off metrics. I will talk about some of the audiences or the tools in which we're trying to use, but it's not super important for this conversation. On the left side, these things are still clean in the account. The account still drives this stuff. We're still having to make the decisions. The second part is where most of us are trying to live right now. Now it's going to change. Pay attention to this next slide. That bottom 3 is where we really want to live and play. Keep those cameras up because watch this. This is where we want to live at. Because you're going to have the CTR ratio, you're going to have a thumb stop ratio, and that click to purchase ratio is really where we make our money because that shit's still relevant. And here's why. If I know my thumb stop ratio, which is the ratio that measures if I'm going to stop my scroll, but what happens if I stop my scroll and they actually don't even do anything? They get busy, they get a call, they get a tweet. It doesn't necessarily measure if they're actually taking action from the creative itself. So you have to look at the waterfall. The waterfall from 3 seconds to 25. I'll do a small caveat right there. If the creative is short, the 3 seconds to 25 might not be super clear. So play with the 25 to 50. Then we have to always include CTR ratio, which is just the click at which you're trying to watch from the 25% to 50%. So now we're looking at not just are they stopping, but we're looking at why are they stopping at what point and are they actually clicking through. That's the W. That's the win. Overall, it has to be measured with the outbound click ratio. Now, I will do another caveat. Outbound clicks are a little bit difficult to track. If you are running to an advertorial, if you're running to a kind of a lander in between, you're going to have to pull metrics from the page itself. Big one. So if I were to show you, this is with an example with Hyros. If I were to just look at my thumb stop ratio, what we're looking at is the 33%, the 28%. This is making us money. It's bullshit. It's a lie. It's not even clear. If I was just making a decision off the thumb stop ratio where they're actually stopping and measuring the creative, there's no rev coming through. Now, if I look at the one right beneath it, or sorry, right above it, 28%, then I correlate it right next to it, which is with the CTR 3-second video view. So not only am I knowing it's stopping, I'm also knowing that it's clicking through and it's driving rev. Look at the purchases. Same thing happens if I get a little bit lower. That one beneath, it ain't the highest thumb stop ratio, but I'm going to correlate it with my CTR 3-second click-through rate, and from that point, I still know it's driving revenue. It might not be the highest CPA or not be the lowest CPA, but it's still driving me some revenue. I can still make decisions with education on this, I promise that. Tracking. This is the next thing that nobody's doing that I know that needs to be followed through. You're going to have to build your own custom columns. These custom columns are my 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 95, 95 to 100. You follow me, Jem? After you build from this, you have to move into the click-through ratio. That, to me, is after you understand where we're clicking and where we're going with it. This led me to my final step. Now we're testing. Now we either have 2 different phases, and a lot of this doesn't change. You're either evergreen, dropping a new offer, or dropping a new product, or dropping a new collaboration. You go back and forth. Nothing else will change. I overall spend my time on the avatar development. From avatar, it takes me about 34 total days to go from my avatar, single angle, second angle. Those 2 angles are then supported by 4 videos. You can go images, totally can go images. Don't need to do it initially, unless you want to go quick and dirty Amazon style, affiliate style. You kind of get the smoke before. I'm willing to invest because we've done all the upfront work on the avatar front. This looks like this. We have a 3-day sprint of the avatar analysis. Now look, if the roles are split up and you're not a media buyer going back and forth, you have the time to do this. All you need is the 3 days. I promise you, you've been able to do it. You can do it too. 14 days for producing that content. I do think that this can get a little bit quicker if the team is set up in a structure to do so and they have good information up front with the avatar. Here's who owns it. What is the most consistent thing you guys are seeing here? Who's with them all the way through? Creative strategists, all the way through, because they have to understand the reporting, they have to understand the media, and they have to understand what the copywriters are doing. So if I were to do again, let's talk about the offer product launch. Slight suggestions, slight changes. Here you can notice 2 different things right in the middle. Ideally, I want 3 of these. budget permitting. If I don't have the budget, I obviously can only have to stick with one. My difference with right in the middle, you have a red and a green, so a green and a red, and that's going to be the pages that we're building. So I do think on initial launch, you're going to need the pages to be built, and we can do it quicker. Because guess what? It's an offer or a product launch. I don't want to spend too much time. I got to get it live. Got to get the information and data. So again, here's my overall sprint. The same people that are living and working with it. So a little bit for everybody: the paid media team, the creative team, and the analysis team.